In this tutorial, I'm going to show you a helpful tool in Adobe Illustrator when you're creating and manipulating graphics, and it's your layers palette. So if you don't see your layers palette or any palette that you want to access to, you can go up to the top to Window, scroll down. If it's got a check mark by it, that means it's displayed and open somewhere. If it doesn't have a check mark by it, then you just select it and then the check mark will show up, and here's our layers. So right now, if I turn that eyeball off, it turns off whatever's on that layer. So you just kind of best practices is you want to try and create when you're creating graphics, and particularly when text gets involved and stuff like that. If you keep it on all on different layers, then it's easier for you to jump back and forth to the aspects of the design that you're trying to manipulate. So say I want to put something behind this, like a burst. Well, right now it's all, because I have this layer selected, it's all on the same layer. And if I want that behind it, then what I would do is I would, with my layers palette open, I'm going to go right down here next to the trash can, and you float your mouse over it, says create a new layer, and by default it puts it on top. I can drag the order of these layers, so I'm going to drag the paintbrush above it, so now layer 2 is underneath. I'm going to double click on that and I'm going to name it. You want to, best practices, name your layers, like this one's named paintbrush. So I'm going to make this star because that's what my graphic is. Again, helps me navigate through easier. And then I'm going to put that star instead behind it. So now I've got 2 layers going on that I can jump back and forth really easily by selecting the layer, and if I want that to be a different color, and it makes it easier for me to jump back and forth. And change these things because they're on different layers, and the layers are named after whatever they need to be named after, so that I can identify, or another artist that's working on this project might be able to identify it a little easier and quicker, just what it is that they're working with. But layers are your friends, and you should use them frequently when building your graphics and logos in Adobe Illustrator.